Welcome to Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda. Yesterday I was talking about the Model T Ford, how 94 years ago the last Model T Ford rolled off the Ford production lines. And I talked about the Ford Motor Company's connection with Ireland and with County Cork. Now, today, 94 years ago, Ford began to tool up the new production lines for the next model that would come after the Model T. Yes, they'd been producing the Model T for 18 years. It was the first affordable motor car. It revolutionized the way production lines and mass production worked in factories. And it wasn't a bad car. It had a 2.9 litre engine, even if it could only go at 45 miles an hour. And it only had 2 gears. And it could run on either petrol or diesel. But after 18 years, it was showing its age. For example, it didn't have an electric starter. You know, you've seen it on the old movies. You get the crank out and you crank the engine to start it. That's what you had to do with the Model T Ford. Henry Ford thought that having an electric starter was a bit of a gimmick. And of course, it was only available in black, and people liked having cars in different colours. Now, Henry Ford clung on as long as he could, but he was getting badly hurt by competitors such as the General Motors, who were coming out with many more innovative ideas. And so the decision was made to shelve the Model T and develop the Model A. Now, Henry Ford was greatly involved in the production line and how that worked. And he was greatly involved in the design of the chassis and the bodywork and the kind of steel that they used and certain advances there. But he was really uninterested in the look of the thing or the various gadgets and improvements that would be on it. For that, his son, Edsel Ford, got involved. And it was a great success. The Model A, it had an electric starter. It was available in 4 different colours, and it had many different versions, including a convertible. It had a 3-speed gearbox instead of a 2-speed gearbox. It had a top speed of 65 miles an hour compared to the 45 miles an hour of the Model T. And it also had a visual fuel gauge. Now, just think about how, that sounds like a small thing, but on the Model T, you couldn't tell how low you were getting on fuel. You couldn't actually, while you were driving, check whether you were running out of fuel or not, whereas the Model A had a visual fuel gauge. And it also had heating inside the car. First car ever to do this. They had a special cap that fitted on the exhaust manifold and drew out the heat of that and channeled it inside the cab of the car. When all was said and done, the Ford Model A was quite an improvement on the Ford Model T. But how would customers react? Well, sales took off, and soon it was selling over 2 million cars a year. Now, Henry Ford was a great innovator, but he got stuck in a rut. He got set in his ways. He needed his son to bring some fresh thinking to the table in order to keep abreast and ahead of competitors such as General Motors. And we all tend to get set in our ways, but change is necessary. And change often comes easier to younger people than to older people. And I'm speaking as a man with grey hair. The Church of Jesus Christ needs a continual stream of leaders, thinkers, and dreamers. Now, sometimes that makes older folks uncomfortable, but without fresh thinking, fresh leadership, fresh dreams and visions, the Church of Jesus Christ is not going to fulfill the purpose for which God placed it on the earth. Yes, the timeless truths that we declare remain, but change in how we present the truth is not ungodly. In fact, Jeremiah said in the book of Lamentations that God's mercies are new every morning. We have an inventive, creative God. He wants us to be inventive and creative people. And as his mercies are new every morning, his gifts are new in every generation. So let's make sure that we give space for the next generation to bring something tremendous to the body of Christ. God bless you. Have a great day. Join us again next time for another Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda.